Welcome everybody to episode 121 of The China Show, previously ADV Podcasts.
Yes.
Boy, do we have a big one for you today. So,
We do.
Before we even get into it, I'm sure everybody knows that Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House in America, went to visit Taiwan. And as a result of that, the Chinese government went crazy because, well, they promised their entire nation that if Nancy Pelosi touched down, that they would have to answer to something serious. You know?
I mean, the implication was like, we're going to go to war.
Yeah, we're going to go to war. We're going to shoot them down. We'll take over the island of Taiwan. We'll reunify, as they say, Taiwan in a day, and all that rubbish. So the entire population was ready for this to happen. And when Nancy Pelosi landed, they did nothing.
Yeah.
And the entire population went crazy, and they were really pissed off with the government.
Well, you can imagine. So that's the context you really need to understand what we'll be getting into. But they're still dealing with it.
Yeah.
And that's why we're still covering the aftermath. Remember we said the Great Copium War had begun?
Yes.
It's still going on.
So if you watched last week, you would have known that they launched Operation Fish Kill, or
Yes.
Miss Isles,
Yeah.
which basically was China's way of trying to, save a little bit of pride. Because obviously pride is massively destroyed and wounded right now. So they
Just
thought...
like the fish.
Yeah, like the fish. They're like, we're going to have to prove to our populace that we're not just words. So instead of doing anything that we promised we'd do, we're just going to shoot fish.
We have some footage of actually the very sad aftermath,
Yeah.
but the fish have made a response.
Yes, you'll see that shortly. So, I mean, it's been ridiculous. They've been doing live fire exercises and all these, shooting at fish and sending boats around the island and stuff like that in a way to try and, save their wounded pride. But it's not working. It makes them look even more foolish.
It also is a bit of a tinderbox of public opinion. And before we get into it, I just want you guys to understand the context is that the Chinese government, because they didn't do anything, the people got really upset. And this is the first time I've seen since Xi Jinping really took helm, that the people in China are starting to question what is going on. Yeah. Not from the perspective of, oh, we love the West now, Xi Jinping is bad. From the perspective of, is the government telling us the truth? Yeah. Because they never do anything.
Yeah, they say a lot of stuff, but they never end up doing it.
It's bad for that.
Let's saunter right into it with What's New, everybody, where we talk about what's new with regards to China. And I know everybody's sick and tired of hearing about COVID lockdowns, but it's kind of important what's going on in China right now, because I think we get into this news cycle thing in the West where something's in the news for a while, everybody pays attention, and then everyone gets bored of it and it just kind of goes away, right? Yeah. And that's what's happened with the lockdowns in China. I mean, it was terrible. People were locked down in Shanghai for like 3 months, some of them 4 months without being able to leave their apartments. And everybody at the time was like, this is terrible, it's awful. But people have kind of forgotten about it now. Yeah. Guess what? Not only is it still continuing in Shanghai in certain areas to certain degrees, but now this is the biggest insult ever. So can you imagine, you're stuck in Shanghai, right? You've been stuck in your apartment for like 3 months, 2 months at the minimum, and you finally can get out. What do? You want to get out of there.
You go to the beach.
You go to the Hawaii. What the Hawaii of China, as they call it. Which is Sanya, Hainan, okay?
Yep.
Hainan
Wait,
Island.
what is
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, I think it's Clam Man. That's where he is right there. If you guys look at that clip again.
Yeah, we can put him down there.
He's there.
On the Pearl White Beaches.
The Pearl White Beaches.
Yeah. Anyway, so everybody in Shanghai is like, we gotta go to the Hawaii of China. Finally, we're free. Yeah. We're gonna go chill out, sit on the beach. We're all green. We're green across the board. None of us have COVID. We've been cleared. Finally, we can get out. Yeah. They all get to Hainan, and then there's a breakout there, and now it's all locked down. It's just the same.
I don't mean to laugh.
And the terrible thing is, like, I think it was something like 80% of the people now locked down in Hainan are from Shanghai.
Because they tried to get out. Yeah. The first thing they want to do is go get some freedom, right?
Yeah.
So they go to a tourist resort. They go to these resorts. They're like, let's go to the beach. But can they enjoy the Pearl White Beaches?
No.
Oh, why not?
Well, it's locked down now. Nobody's allowed on the beach. Nobody's allowed to even... Well, at first what they did was like, you cannot leave Hainan, right? You're stuck there. But you can still go in the sea and stuff. That was for about a day. Then they were like, no, now you can't go into the beach. Now you can't use the amenities at the hotel. Like if there was a swimming pool or like a restaurant or whatever, they were like, no, you can't do that. But you can still walk around the grounds a little bit and chill out. And then they were like, No more. Now everyone's locked inside their hotels. Everybody has to go for those daily long queue PCR tests where they have to test them for COVID and stuff. And we've got some footage we're going to show you.
What if I told you that we have long tentacles that extend all the way to Hainan, and we actually got people to go out on the street and get footage for us?
Yeah. So if you were in one of these resorts, you're kind of screwed. Now here's a mall. And apparently somebody was found to have...
This is Shanghai, by the way.
Yeah,
we'll get to the Hainan stuff in a minute. The Hainan stuff is unseen.
Yeah. We'll show you the Hainan stuff now. But this is kind of the way things are right now. People are not afraid of COVID. They're afraid of being locked down. Yeah. So somebody apparently got, reportedly their QR code changed to say they were infected in the mall. Yeah. So everyone's like, let's get the hell out.
Why is that guy got the barrier?
I guess he was like, I'm going to move this for everyone. He's just being nice.
Nice of him, actually. He's a real bro.
Look, people are tripping over themselves.
This guy's trying to get out of the hotel.
Yeah.
Because they've locked down the hotel.
Yeah.
So the cops are like, nope, back in, buddy.
Yeah, you're not going anywhere.
You ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Ferrari boy.
Yeah. It's kind of ridiculous.
This is footage that we got. So there's no, according to one of our people on the ground there, there was a little bit of food being given out, but no food was making it to the masses because either you had grab bags, or you had people scalping.
Yeah,
right?
scalping it.
So this is what we're at, and this is an apartment complex that you'll see around Hainan. They've gated everything off.
Yeah, completely blocked everything off. Now it's to varying degrees. If you were staying in a 5-star hotel. And there are actually people currently vlogging from I think the Hilton or something like that, one of those top ones. If you were staying in a 5-star hotel, it's a different story. They've got you locked in your rooms, you're not allowed to leave, but they are giving you food.
Yeah.
Some people are saying that the rooms are even free, that they've been locked in, at least the foreigners, Other people are reporting that the room prices have been hiked up seriously now.
Guy that took this footage said that they were offering 50% discounts on rooms, but then they would hike the base price up, so it's even more expensive.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of price gouging going on.
Yeah.
A lot of people taking advantage of this situation, but it's not pretty. Okay.
No, it's
and
not
so
pretty.
depending on who you are and where you are, over there was.
That was important. So these are people trying to get out of their area on their e-bikes, and the cops have blocked it off and are finding and stopping people. Yeah,
this is a subscriber of ours, by the way, who's filming this. So this is not some footage you'll find anywhere else.
Good luck, China. There's lots of foreigners in Hainan. So
yeah. So this is our subscriber riding around, just showing you the streets are empty.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is in a very, very high. This is like the main thoroughfare.
Yeah. And that sign that he's just passed there, in fact, you can see that sign here.
Yeah.
It's basically saying you may not enter or you may not leave.
Depending on your code and stuff.
Yeah.
So keep going. So you have these areas here, and then you have like the main tourist areas that are the big money makers, right?
Yeah.
Totally locked down.
Yeah.
Nobody can get anywhere with it.
Yeah.
So he's cruising down. This is supposed to be bustling tourist land.
Yeah.
And it's just not.
No.
There's nothing going on.
Yeah, all shut down. People are locked into their hotels and locked into their little communities and things like that for the most part.
Yeah.
It's, it all kind of depends on if someone is found to have, a positive case in your area.
Yeah.
If there's a positive case in your area, your entire neighborhood gets shut down, or your entire hotel or whatever it is, and you're stuck there.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see barriers are now erected all over the place. It's kind of looking like Shanghai was looking like.
Yeah.
And that's definitely not a good sign.
No.
Yeah, pretty much empty. Everything's shut down. So yeah, just to bring it back into the spotlight a little bit here, but this zero COVID policy is absolutely horrendous. Okay? Everybody knows this pineapple building. If you've been there, you'll know about it. This is like the big touristy area. Look, all shut down. There's no one coming in and out. There's no one on the streets. This, by the way, is always packed full of people. Every time I've been past this area, it's just like crazy.
Yeah.
Completely blocked off. What's going on here?
So this is, people keep begging us to talk about the bank situation.
Right.
So this is another bank protest in Henan. If you guys don't know, a lot of people took out some sort of kind of investment loan type thing.
Or just open savings
Or just
accounts.
open savings accounts in Henan rural banks. This is in central China, central eastern China. And then the bank basically told them to F off.
Yeah.
We can't pay back what we owe you. You can't even access your money anymore. People freak out. They have protests. They get arrested. They get beaten.
Yeah.
It's the China way, right? Now, there is an update on that goes past that and has more applications of not just banks in Henan anymore, but banks all around China.
So actually, only this morning I started to get messages from people in China that I know, and I started to see things being posted on social media. A lot of people, and now we're talking about big banks like Bank of China, okay? Not just these far-flung Henan banks or whatever. A lot of big banks right now are doing this interesting thing where they're freezing people's accounts.
Yeah.
Okay, but for nothing. Like, for instance, one dude, he does this every day. He pays for like his food using Zhifubao, and then he buys stuff with WeChat. It's nothing out of the ordinary. He made 2 purchases, like he would almost every day. Okay, and his card was frozen.
Yeah.
And he asked why, and they said, "Oh, you're making too many online purchases. We're worried that it's fraud."
Yeah.
Everybody in China only makes online purchases. Nobody uses cash anymore.
No.
Okay, so it's weird, and they're saying the only
It's not a reason to flag an
it's
account.
not. And they're saying the only way that you can fix this is to come down physically to the bank.
Oh, let me tell you something about waiting in the bank.
Yeah.
In China, it's a whole day affair. You take a number, and let me tell you, there is a lot of people in front of you each time.
You want to know what's even worse about it?
What?
Is that I know some people here in the States who have accounts with Bank of China and so on, and they buy everything online still. They still use their bank account in China to buy stuff online.
Here.
Yeah, they live here, but think about it. You buy stuff on Taobao to get shipped here.
For sure.
You buy stuff on Taobao to send to your family and friends in China. You're paying your mortgage or whatever it is using a bank account, using online banking. Some of their banks have been frozen now.
Bank of China.
And
internationally.
yeah, and they're like, okay, easy, just come in physically.
Oh, the snap.
So now you've got people that are overseas that cannot access their funds unless they go back to China, back to the branch to go get it sorted out.
Wow.
Can you see why this could be a big issue?
Yeah.
So this is happening across the board. Lots and lots of people are having this all of a sudden, that like their cards are being frozen for like very trivial reasons. Like, oh, you bought too many things online, which is nonsense, right?
So it's a way to keep capital in the banks.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It can't be proven, but the fact of the matter is the banks don't want money being, you know, especially with the current situation with the real estate and all the bad loans and the bad debt.
Right.
The banks are probably trying to hold on to as much cash or as much liquid, whatever you call that crap, you know, as possible, as much capital. And if people are drawing money out and buying stuff, the bank can't use that money for their loans and they're paying back their debts and all that kind of stuff. So they want to keep it in the bank.
Yeah.
But this is kind of having the opposite effect of what they want, because now a lot of people online are starting to get frustrated and saying, why am I putting my cash in the bank then? I may as well just keep money in, you know, under my mattress or keep it at home.
Point,
And remember, this is, for the longest time in China, that was always the way, is to keep your money cash, keep it at home. How many times?
It's so unstable.
How many times did we hear about those cases where like termites ate like people's life fortunes or whatever, and because they keep it under the bed or something, and then they look one day and it's half eaten or whatever?
Or how many people get robbed in China?
Yeah.
House robberies are huge.
Yeah, and they steal
China.
people's life saving. So, I mean, the fact is, though, the banks are really screwing people around right now, and it's something to keep an eye on, because it's no longer these small banks. This whole thing about just randomly freezing people's accounts is becoming quite a big thing.
Yes.
And especially for overseas Chinese, it's terrifying.
Right.
Because you won't be able to... I mean, imagine your bank card is frozen. You can't pay your mortgage. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
Without going back to China physically into that bank.
And you can't.
Yeah.
It's like, what, 20 grand to go back there?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The
Right.
prices and the flights aren't very good. And then you have to quarantine for 7 days. And then they'll steal your passport and not let you leave. It's like, what's going on?
It's a bad situation.
Bad situation. So those are some of the new things that are going on in China. Do we have anything else that's in what's new today?
Oh, yeah. We got lots of stuff.
Oh, good. Okay, so that's a bank protest. Oh, go back. All right. Now, I think what's coming up next is an interesting little story. Yeah, why don't you explain what's going on?
This is just a funny one.
Yeah.
It's a married woman in China.
Yeah.
She dated 18 men at once
Okay.
and scammed all of them for 300 grand. U.S., which I thought was very funny because that's like I'm thinking about you juggle like three dudes or whatever, you get away with it. Yeah, maybe 2 or 3, but 18, that's pretty. And apparently it went up to 20. That's allegedly.
Dude, I mean, they're only 7 days a week. So
yeah,
how do you do that? 18.
So she would apparently enthrall the men into a fake relationship, convincing that her feelings were genuine and that she was in love, and then take pre-wedding photos with them.
Oh man!
Like really, and then and they would often call her wife, so they were ready to roll.
Yeah, because the pre-wedding photo thing, by the way, it's
that's
different.
How you lock it
in China, you don't get wedding photos taken.
No.
Like in the West, you normally get your wedding photos taken at your wedding.
Right.
You know.
Yes.
But in China, you get these like lavish pre-wedding photo. I had them done. You had them done, where you dress up in different costumes and stuff, and they take you to a park.
Such an industry there.
Yeah, and it costs a lot of money.
Yeah, it does.
And they take all these photos and they print out big portraits for you and photo books and keychains and all that kind of stuff. But it's absolutely ridiculous. I know one of the victims even like sold his house in order to give her money.
Yeah, so listen to this. Once she captivated the men, the 29-year-old woman would allegedly request money, explaining that she needed it to help several family members. Some of her explanations were that her father has cancer, her cousin needed to be bailed out of jail, her brother needed money to buy a home after getting married, and some of the men that she dated took out loans to fulfill her cash requests, but then they got suspicious, right? So they threatened to report her to the police, but then she would request money from the newer boyfriends that weren't privy to this in order to pay back the old ones. It was the circle of life, dude.
Wow.
Earlier this year, the elaborate scheme fell apart, and she asked one of her boyfriends to pose as her brother. And she explained that she was trying to get rid of another man named Lee, who she claimed was tracking her down over unpaid taxes. So she loaned... The dude loaned her 900,000 RMB.
Wow.
So that's 133 grand. And then following his suspicions, he demanded a meeting between him and her parents. Right. So that's really when you kind of make it serious in China.
Yeah.
If you make the parents meet each other.
Sure.
Right. So he threatened to break up with her and take back his money if she refused. And then obviously she refused, and he reported her to the police.
Right.
The man asked me when we could return the money to him. He said he is short of money and he already has sold his house. I instantly became suspicious of her. How could it be possible that one person who pushed others to pay taxes sold his own house? So anyway, they went on and they finally caught her.
They caught her. But I mean, that's taking a romance scam to the next level. But you see, she's taking advantage of this gender imbalance in China.
Yeah.
Because think about it right now, like, obviously in the more rural areas, it hits a lot harder. But because there are less eligible women around, she can just really play the field there and get lots of money.
Yeah, dudes do this as well in China.
They definitely do. They definitely do. But I mean, it's so much more in a woman's favor to do this.
It is because there's such a shortage of men. So you get these rural men that move to the city or whatever. You could definitely play him for a fool pretty easily.
Yes, I mean, that's just kind of a...
So that was a funny one.
Yeah,
I mean, it sucks.
It's horrendous. It's horrendous. But it's good she got caught.
It is.
So... what is this thing about Xi's moments, by the way?
I just wanted to talk about how hypocritical this is. The Xi Jinping cult of personality is just outlandish, right? Mm-hmm. And I think it's crazy that there is a official checkmarked account, right?
Yeah.
Called Xi's Moments with a verification checkmark. When Xi Jinping bans Western social media,
is this not a parody account?
It's verified.
I mean, but you could verify a parody. I
don't think so, dude.
I just want
nothing funny.
I just want to err on the course. I mean, look, the thing is, this whole Xi's Moments thing. If you go onto any Chinese news site, in Chinese, all you ever see are pictures of Xi Jinping, and it'll be like Xi Jinping's thought of the day, Xi's Moments.
No, dude, this is verified Facebook, 6.6 million followers, and Chinese state-controlled media.
Okay, so it is real.
Yes.
Okay.
Moments of Xi.
Xi's Moments.
Wow.
Is he having a senior moment?
Why is this even allowed, though? Facebook is blocked in China by Xi Jinping, but he gets to have a verified tick-marked account with protection on Facebook. How does that make sense?
No, none of it does. The fact that Chinese state media and these propagandists are allowed to use Western social media to such a degree and take advantage of it, and even like game the system with bots and government-funded, armies of internet users that go to like prop them up, is just ridiculous. It is. It's a ridiculous situation.
Xi's moments is such a freaking cult of personality bullshit thing.
They're going back to Mao.
Yeah.
You know, by the way, my video that I'm releasing tomorrow is about China's nuclear weapon program. And I was watching the old documentaries.
I watched them.
Yeah. And the amount of bullshit that's involved in those things. The entire nuclear program is just worshipping Mao Zedong.
Yeah.
It's like Chairman Mao's thought allowed us to do this. Great
Right.
Chairman Mao, you know, by using Chairman Mao's thought, you know, this and that. The soldiers are told by Chairman Mao that with Chairman Mao's thought, you can, it's just Chairman Mao, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's sick.
Yeah.
And it's becoming the same with Xi Jinping.
Yeah, it's gross.
You have to, and again, we've told you about this before, but if you work in the government in China, you have an app on your phone, and every day you have a test. It's a test. And the test is how well you know Xi Jinping's thoughts.
You know, I was talking to people that actually set up bots to go through that app and get because they have to get a certain amount of beans or whatever, like points,
Yeah.
whatever the heck it is, dole, you know.
Yeah.
And they were setting up bots to go through their app for their daily exercises because even like low-level civil servants have to do
Everybody
it.
has to do it.
Annoying, right?
Yeah.
So they were setting up bots to do it for them
Yeah.
because they don't want to do it.
Imagine having to do that every day.
It's like
Dude.
you literally have to read Xi's moments
Yeah.
and then take a quiz.
It's the same as if in America, if you worked as a postman or something, you'd have to open up your phone and do, I don't know, Trump's quotes of the day or Biden's gaffes.
A, B, C, D.
You know, like,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's got to be like, when Biden said this, or, you know, did Biden or did Trump say this? Did Trump say tremendous or super great? You're going to have to choose the right.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, and
Yeah.
you have to do it.
Yeah.
And if you fail, you get like penalized. You
Yeah.
you can get fired. You can get demoted. you
it's
get
also
fined.
built into social credit.
Yeah,
system.
social credit score. It's ridiculous. Anyway, so we just thought we'd bring that up to speed with everyone that Xi's moments actually exists.
Somebody says I have the Xi app on my phone. I try to get the lowest score possible.
Yeah.
Bro, that is taking over your phone. I would retire
Yeah,
that phone.
yeah. So why are we showing this older footage?
Oh, well, because it's summer.
Oh, right.
And I just want people to remember
Mm-hmm.
that in China, when you decide to go to a body of water in the heat, this is what it used to be like before COVID.
Yeah, before COVID, yeah.
And I just wanted people to understand how. I wanted people to think amongst themselves, how can one think that is a relaxing endeavor?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
It's just one of those things you have to look at and think about. You're like, how is this better than me just going in the bathtub by myself?
Yeah, well, you don't have bathtubs in China.
You know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
This is something people know about.
Stand in the
right?
shower.
Stand in the. I mean, I'd
Walk
rather
into the park. Walk in the park.
just walk in the park. You know, maybe jump in the river. Don't jump in the river in China.
No, don't
No,
do that.
don't do that. Take that back.
Yeah, it is awful. And remember, I made a video on my channel about you need a passport to go to the beach.
Yeah.
Well, it's true, by the way, in Shenzhen at Damesha, the most popular public beach, because it was getting too overcrowded and, you know, it was impossible to move.
But that's how they manage it well. By the way, I'm not for that. That's
No.
at least like measurements to stop. The
You
overcrowding.
had to book to go to the beach.
You go to some of those beaches that are not managed like Shenzhen, and it looks like this.
Yeah, even when it is managed, it
yeah,
looks like
this is
this,
very
okay?
I'm trying to give them a
Yeah,
little face.
yeah, for sure.
Anyway, yeah. We did a whole thing about beaches in China on ADVChina. It was a good
Yeah, we did.
episode. We have, if you want to see footage like this, but 10 times worse, go check that video out.
Yeah.
We used a lot.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Little throwback.
we all know Shamate by now, the Chinese
Well,
subculture.
Do we? If you guys don't know, I wish we threw a throwback photo in here. Shamata are the crazy hair dudes.
Yep.
It's
like a
Don't Call Me
subculture.
Toilet seat.
Yeah.
Dance to weird, crappy techno.
Yeah.
They love kicking up dirt and dust.
Yeah, that's part of the thing they do.
They love riding around their like crappy scooters or whatever and putting like massive subwoofers and speakers in them and blasting the Shamata music.
Yeah.
They love to go like this and
Smell the
like
nose.
this.
Yeah.
lots of key characteristics. If you guys know, you know. But we found this, and it's quite the plot twist.
Yeah, we'll show you.
It's like an unexpected Shamata.
It looks like it's going to be like a Li Ziqi video,
Yeah.
and it turns in. We'll show it to you in a minute. But remember last time we showed them dancing in the dirt, kicking up dirt, doing like break dancing. And remember one of the comments was, "That's not break dancing, that's broke dancing."
I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
like that.
Anyway, we're going to get out of here so you can see it.
You know what? I don't think I put music to it.
Oh, you didn't?
I think I...
Hands and stuff because of the lime or whatever.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that she's probably shortened her life by like 10 years.
Yeah, not worth it for the Douyin video.
No.
But thought it was great. What does that even say? I didn't make this. But...
I don't know. This
This
video.
is for entertainment only. Please do not imitate.
Okay, good.
Thank God someone put that disclaimer in there.
Yeah.
Because YouTube might hit us and be like, are you telling people to inhale cement?
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
We're not.
Excellent. So
Glad to see there's lots of people here, and welcome if you guys are new to the show. I just
Yeah.
wanted to give you guys a shout out. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't subscribed already.
that'd be nice. Now, this woman over here, it's kind of interesting because she's a bit of a chameleon, isn't she?
Yeah,
She's a military chameleon.
Yeah, so it's funny when the Chinese state media wants to show their military or show somebody professional in a professional environment. They'll often typecast people, I guess, because this woman has now shown up in multiple different fields. She's a presenter. Mm-hmm. She's also in the military.
Yeah, in the army.
She's also a naval officer.
Yes, she seems to be quite adept at all these different things. Yeah. Remember, we saw that with the old man in Xinjiang.
Yeah.
They found this typecast old, like Uyghur-looking dude with a beard and his hat and his little flute thing or whatever.
They're like, this is what a Uyghur looks like.
Yeah, with his ukulele or whatever the hell he has. Yeah. And they put him in everything. Yeah. Whenever they were talking about like, oh, there's no genocide in Xinjiang, they'd use this one old man. And they'd use him in state media. They'd use him for the shills. And just because they have a typecast thing. And it's the same with this woman. Oh, she's kind of like the face of a military woman, so we'll use her for everything.
That's right.
And this is going to be more, in Soft Power Hour, you're going to see how China really loves to fake things.
Yeah.
And it's all about a facade. Yeah. That's why I know you're probably confused by the whole thumbnail, but don't worry, it'll make sense. It'll make sense.
It'll make sense. Don't worry.
Yeah. But it's all about faking things. Fake it till you make it, really. Oh, and now the response to Operation Fishkill.
Yeah, so if you guys are just tuning in, Operation Fishkill was Nancy Pelosi arrives on Taiwan. Chinese government goes, holy crap, she actually did it. We can't actually go to war or attack Taiwan, so they start shooting all the fish.
Yeah, because what they did was they did this massive military buildup before she landed, and it was there to try and scare her away, basically.
Yes.
So they rolled tanks on the beaches, they brought in all the missile launchers, they did everything. They started flying planes around, all that crap. She lands, then for a day, they were like sitting on their hands, and they were like, what can we do? Like, we really screwed up here. Everyone's literally punching themselves in the face because they're so ashamed of our Chinese government and nation right now because we didn't do anything. What can we do? So Xi Jinping came along. We'll give you a little recap.
我命令全军各级要强化练兵备战鲜明导向，坚定不移把军事训练摆在战略位置，作为中心工作，抓住不放，抓出成效。要坚持领导带头，以上率下，坚持实战实训，连战连训，坚持按纲施训，从严治训。
So now you can see they commenced Operation Fishkill, and this is actual footage of them doing that. They literally fired missiles into designated areas around the sea, around Taiwan, killing all the sea life.
But
okay, now
the fish had a response.
Yeah,
we knew that nature would strike back.
Correct.
And let's be honest, the Chinese government's missile attacks were quite successful against the first troops of the
it was
fish.
like a blitzkrieg. You know, the fish were caught unawares.
They didn't expect it.
So the fish have a response. So we're going to show you the fish's response. That's got to be one of my favorite things that's ever come out of our subreddit.
Oh, it's just justice for the fish, dude.
Friggin' amazing.
Loved it.
So, yeah, better watch out, China. The fish are on the move, and they're going to get their revenge.
Yeah.
They absolutely will.
Absolutely.
All right, so it's almost time for Soft Power Hour. Let's do a couple of small super chats, and we'll hit it. And we'll talk to you exactly why China's dying of embarrassment right now.
Jim Flagg says, are you guys ready to hit the road now that COVID has stabilized a little? Here's a little money for next trip. Thanks.
Thank you.
COVID's not the issue right now. It's just time, really, at this point.
Yeah, we got too much on the go. But actually, today we secured something very exciting, which is going to be a part of our next trip. And you'll see. You'll see.
I'm not going to read that name, but thank you very much. Kathleen Morrison, is she a lock to be renewed as president in September? Or is there someone else to win? It's a lock. For sure.
Absolutely. There's no way anyone else can take over
He's
that position.
He's consolidated power a bit massively.
He is the only one who can decide who's next, and that's him.
Pretty much at this point,
yeah.
Blobfish, Crabman says, blobfish live a mile under the ocean, which means that they're perfectly safe from the missile attack. Well, blobfish should join the ranks and get their asses out of that deep sea.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I think they implode when they go to the
surface. That's right,
so sorry about that. Cool. And we'll hit the other super chats next.
Okay, guys, it's time for Soft Power Hour, where we talk about how China tries to change your mind through all sorts of media and the news and the internet and propaganda and so on. And we've got to first of all talk about this this response. Okay, because look, other than the killing of fish, China has been crazy. The daily tweets coming out and the daily press releases. How many white papers have they released now? 3 or 4?
If you want to see what butthurt copium looks like,
like meltdown.
It's like they boiled it and distilled the essence from copium, and now it's black tar copium.
Yes.
Because the tweet storm that came out of state media, it's almost ridiculous. Like they were using missiles with their mouth.
Yes.
Or their fingers on the keyboard. They got a memo because all the shit that they keep typing is the same.
Yeah. Right? So, all these big government officials are tweeting out the most ridiculous stuff. About USA meddle this, Taiwan's always been a part of China, that, this and that, and the next thing. But also just off-the-wall crap. We've written a new white paper on this, and now we've written a second white paper on this. Now you've written I actually told one of them to shut up and stop wasting paper. How much paper, and the fact that they're a paper tiger as well. Tiger wasting paper. It's ridiculous. So, I mean, if you were keeping track of this, you would think that everyone's in chaos and there's a meltdown going on. Meanwhile, if you read the tweets coming out of Taiwan, they've got I follow their defense ministry on Twitter. They just post, 23 planes flew into this area close by. We're monitoring it closely. We have everything locked on with missiles and stuff. We're just, we're ready to protect ourselves if necessary. And on the China side, it's posting these stupid cartoons of Pelosi as a war demon and stuff, and America is this disgusting thing, and posting all this stuff about how what was that thing they said that Tsai Ing-wen is not
Taiwan's president.
She's not a good descendant of Chinese blood or whatever, she's an unworthy descendant of Chinese people, that kind of
just busting out the racism as usual.
But the interesting thing is that this childish crap that they keep putting out, it's coming from their top diplomats.
Yeah, this isn't fringe tabloids.
Yeah, it's their foreign spokesperson says things like this.
The person that takes Xi Jinping's words and puts it out to the world.
Yeah, so you have diplomats, right? Yeah. China doesn't have diplomats because they're not diplomatic.
No, they act like spoiled children.
China has basically internet trolls.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
But shit internet trolls.
Yeah, they really are. They're really horrible people.
Next week, I think we might have a pretty big update about. Just play projection there.
Oh yeah,
projection. He's in some hot water.
He certainly is.
Now, did you hear about that?
Yeah, I did hear a little bit about that.
He's been a little bit inactive recently, and it has something to do with some domestic abuse or something.
Yeah,
so we'll cover that next week.
Yeah, we will. But for now, let's look at Hua Chunying, who is the foreign spokesperson for China. She is the foreign spokesperson.
She's a real demon.
Yeah.
Just real mean.
So not only has she been constantly posting evil USA this and blah, blah, that, and Taiwan belongs to China and we will take it back by force when we want to, and that kind of shit that is usual, and a lot of undiplomatic stuff. she, in her great wisdom, decided that this would be a great tweet. So she put out a tweet saying, Baidu maps show that there are 38 Shandong dumpling restaurants and 67 Shanxi noodle restaurants in Taipei. Palates don't cheat. Hashtag Taiwan has always been a part of China. The long-lost child will eventually return home.
Can you imagine the level of idiocy and butthurtness that would lead someone to believe that a territory, a sovereign territory, belongs to them because of a noodle restaurant?
Yeah, because there. I mean, it's dumb. It's like saying, oh, there's a lot of Indian restaurants in New York,
Right.
so America belongs to India.
Right. But, oh, by the way,
Palates don't
where
lie.
we live, there's a lot of Italian delis. So actually, we have Italian citizenship now.
Yeah. No, we should just go home and be Italian.
Yeah.
Because we like pizza.
Yes.
It's that kind of nonsense. But of course, this wasn't just. People didn't just let this slide.
No.
Okay.
That's what we covered.
Yeah. So almost immediately, like, by the way, this guy, Yang Guita, is a friend of the channel.
Yeah.
He immediately responded with, there are 173 Taiwan restaurants in Beijing, loser.
That's bad.
Because that's more.
That's more.
That's the thing.
in the capital
Yeah.
of China.
Yeah, so if you think about it, Taipei is the capital of
Taiwan.
right? So what's 38 plus 67 is like, 100 odd.
Yeah.
Okay, my math sucks.
90 something.
Yeah, 90, almost 100. But then in Beijing, you've got 173 Taiwanese restaurants.
Ouch.
So-
Ouch.
So that's more.
So that means
That
China
means-
belongs to Taiwan.
Yeah, palates don't lie.
Pellets don't lie.
I mean,
The long lost mother will return to the child, apparently.
yes. Well, let's
Sorry,
be
Bob.
fair. The way that China behaves, they are the child.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like a freaking little child.
It's like a kid you don't want.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
throwing
you know
a
what,
tantrum.
You know what it is?
What?
It's the kid that gets left at the fire station in those deposit boxes. It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
I know it's my flesh and blood, but I just can't deal with this anymore. You'd stuff it in there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's mainland China under Xi Jinping.
It's kind of like if the father was a disgusting criminal.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You just don't want anything to do with
China
it.
operates like a criminal, so.
So other people were also very happy to point out that there are many McDonald's restaurants in Beijing.
Yeah, this is from XA Singh. I don't know who this is, but his comment was, Google Maps shows that there are multiple McDonald's restaurants in Beijing. Palates don't cheat. Hashtag Beijing has always been part of American fast food culture. The long lost child will eventually return home. I loved how
Yeah.
he copied this.
It's
tweet. It's
exactly.
great.
Something else that that is also interesting. Okay, in Taiwan, there are about 10,000 Japanese restaurants. So that means that Taiwan actually should go back and be part of Japan. Then.
Yeah, because Japan did have claim over Taiwan. Unlike, by the way, the
China.
PRC.
Yeah.
Like, Communist China has never once ruled over Taiwan.
Never. But Japan did. They governed it. It was,
It's rightfully independent now,
Yes.
but they actually, you could actually say at one point it was Japan.
Yeah, at one point, Taiwan did belong to Japan.
Right. So
Yeah.
pellets don't lie.
Pellets don't lie. Time to go back to your previous government. Obviously.
By the way, I
not,
can confirm when I lived in Taiwan, even in rural areas, Japanese food is almost the go-to.
Dude, it was awesome. Like,
Yeah.
I remember in Taoyuan, this little on the side of the road, dude would make tonkatsu.
Yeah,
and
all
you just
over.
chill out there. There's people always eating it. You sit on the curb. And
Taiwan's
on the
incredible
street.
because it's like half China, half Japan.
Well, it's half.
awesome.
You get the real Chinese culture.
Yeah.
And you get Japanese culture mixed
It's
together.
really cool.
Yeah. Kind of like Hong Kong is Chinese culture and UK culture.
And
mixed
like
together.
everything mixed together, really, yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting
Conglomeration.
place. Anyway, so this kind of thing goes on, but it turns out that
Just people kept going.
McDonald's locations in Beijing. There's something like 8,500 KFC restaurants.
So it hurts.
Look, 150 Japanese restaurants in Beijing. Ooh,
Oh, that one stings.
that's bad. That's because if you understand the history between China and Japan, that is a terrible thing because Japan did actually at some point completely like take over China.
Do you actually, who, he's going to get in trouble for this, but he supports it. You know who really likes Japanese food is Clam Man.
Oh yeah, because it's
He's going to get in trouble for that.
oh yeah, he's not allowed to like Japanese food. But I mean, now that if you were to take her tweet and you get a Japanese diplomat to tweet that out.
Can you imagine Japan ever doing something like
No,
that?
because they actually
or Taiwan.
they're polite and
Yeah.
they stick to international diplomatic norms, unlike China.
Be normal.
Yes.
You cringe piece of shit.
I know.
It's so bad.
Yeah, I know.
It's making me embarrassed because I'm the one defending China all the time, especially when it comes up in errant conversations. People misspeak about China, and I correct them.
Yeah.
But it's hard to correct diplomatic behavior like this when the front page of China is this. Your foreign ministry spokesman, get a leash on her.
Yeah.
Get a leash on Zhao Lijian as well. All
Yeah.
of them. Put them away because this wolf warrior shit's not working. It's
backfiring, and that's why China's dying of embarrassment. Because,
Yeah.
by the way, KFC, this is part of the thumbnail. There are 8,500 KFC restaurants in China, thereabouts.
Yes.
It's one of the most prolific, and you can attest to this. It's difficult to find in rural China, but if you're going to find any fast food chain in rural China, it will be KFC, like, American fast food chain. You'll get Dicko's or whatever, or you might get nothing at all. You'll get some knockoff, but KFC is all over. So people are starting to make a lot of fun. They're like saying that, China's always been a part of Kentucky. Time to come back home. That kind of stuff.
Time to come home.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Speaking of wolf warriors, again, more of this Taiwan crap.
Bad.
This is the same guy who said that Japan has no right to talk about the Taiwan issue or whatever. And I replied to him and saying, yes, they do, because they actually once governed Taiwan, unlike you.
Yeah, that hurts.
Yes.
Salt.
So this bizarre analogy from a Chinese government official again here saying, would the UK remain calm and show restraint if Scotland split itself from the UK?
That's a really bad analogy.
Especially since they had a referendum a couple of years ago asking if they wanted to leave the
They
UK.
literally, not only did they have a referendum for this, they allowed the people to decide if they wanted to be independent or not. And if they did that in Taiwan, you better believe Taiwan would be de facto independent.
Also, don't forget, Scotland is still a country.
Yeah.
It's still a separate country.
Just because it's in the UK.
Yeah, it's part of the UK, but it's still its own country. Okay?
They get to decide.
Yes, they do. China doesn't understand the world.
No.
The Chinese diplomats do not understand the world.
No, they didn't understand the separation of powers. They're like, why did Biden allow Pelosi to go? Because in China, it's one party rule. It's one man that decides everything, right?
Yeah.
They don't understand that separation of powers or democratic values or anything.
No, they don't. So they make all these absolutely ridiculous mistakes all the time.
Yeah.
The
The Scotland one was a faux pas.
That's really, really
that
dumb.
was bad.
Okay. Now. This is brilliant.
This needs context because
Yes.
I think people laugh at this, they'll clown on this for what it is, but it is an analogy for everything in the CCP.
Everything. And also, remember earlier how we showed you there's that woman who's used for like a Navy officer or an Army officer or a whatever
Ji Chen,
officer.
I think her name was,
Yeah. Again, they will put things out there and just expect people to believe them and not question it.
Yeah.
So last week, we showed you, or was it last week or the week before?
It was a while ago.
We showed you this hydrogen-powered tractor.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll talk about this. Let's just show you a little intro here. This, by the way, is CGTN tech reporter
As well.
Zhou Yiqiu.
Yeah.
Okay.
But more importantly, this is state media showing off their high-tech development.
Yes, okay, so let's take a look.
A tractor driven by hydrogen fuel cells, and that is autonomous.
Wait,
Yeah,
hold on a second.
and that is autonomous.
That's kind of like saying and that's awesome.
Yeah,
right?
and that's
But
fantastic.
I think she got the inflection wrong.
Because it's supposed to be an autonomous tractor that is hydrogen fueled. Anyway,
People in the chat are remembering the tractor.
yeah, so you remember the tractor, right?
You need to
You'll
grab
see.
something.
Yeah, so
You wouldn't believe what we and the subreddit found.
yes, actually, you guys, our community is incredible.
Yes.
So we all know, you might know her as Miss Wow, but she is CGTN's reporter. So she's a state reporter.
Yeah, state media.
Zhou Yiqiu.
Government employee.
Yeah. So just in case there was any doubt about
No,
that.
we're not picking on some like social media star.
No. We have to show you that she is state media. She does all these things about like poverty alleviation, vaccine, this and that, but she does it from a tech point of view, showing off China's 5G. You know, AI helps COVID-19, this and that.
It's
and
soft
that.
power.
Yeah.
That's why it's in soft power hour.
That's correct. Now, she put out a report about this hydrogen-powered tractor.
Pause that. Let's just look at that. I want to say abortion, but it's not born yet because it's not real.
No. We showed you last time that they even had like a Transformers logo on the front. And this is supposed to be a fully autonomous hydrogen-powered tractor. Okay, you can actually see, by the way, the one all the way down there, you can see the Transformers Decepticon badge on the front.
Why did they put you know what? It's very apt because they're deceiving the world.
Yes, it's a Deceptractor.
Yeah.
Okay, so what goes on with this thing is it's supposed to talk to satellites with 5G technology. It's supposed to be able to go out there and do all this stuff autonomously, you see?
Yeah. So then you don't have to go till the ground and breathe the horrible pollution.
Yeah.
That you can
And
see.
remember, this was supposed to be one of China's top 10 tech innovations or top 5 or something.
Top 5, and then she showed 3.
Yeah. Remember, we found out afterwards that John Deere has been making something along these lines that actually works and is big.
And
it's
for a
cool.
while.
Yeah, very long time.
Yeah.
Anyway, now the important part of this is during this presentation, they showed this. Now, take a look at this. This is their CG representation of this hydrogen-powered tractor.
State media. This is the top Chinese government putting this out.
Please pay attention. This is supposed to be the technical insides of this tractor. Look at it. It looks high-tech. You're like, wow, that looks incredible. Look at that. What's that?
Wow.
They're highlighting this gizmo. Look at that.
What's that?
This is, and she goes on to say how it's hydrogen-powered. So I just want us to see that CG little tractor again, right? Okay, let's take a look.
Very important.
Because this is Chinese state media showing us this, okay?
Yeah.
So now you know it's real. This is the CG they show you. Okay, look inside. This is what it looks like. Wow, high tech, it's amazing. It links up to satellites and all that. If you watch the rest of this, it shows like, look how it links up to satellites and stuff. Guess what? One of our subscribers on the subreddit is actually works in 3D animation. Okay? And we had actually mentioned, like, did they just like get some kind of assets? And he went and he found a $7 asset pack online, okay, for 3D objects. Because that's how it works. You buy your 3D objects, which you can use then in your 3D animations, okay?
Yeah.
So he found this, and look what he found. Ooh, what's that? What is that?
Oh no, China.
What could that be? That looks like part of the tractor.
Someone's getting fired.
Then they're like, ooh, what's that? That looks like the middle part of this hydrogen-powered tractor.
Oh, I actually feel secondhand embarrassment. It makes me feel bad.
And then they're like, look, oh, wow, that looks familiar. So, oh, and look at that. That looks familiar too.
Oh my.
So this guy, by the way, fantastic.
Yes.
Posted on the subreddit. Do we have his? We got to put his name on.
I don't think he wanted me to show.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, even if he doesn't, you can go find on our subreddit.
Yeah.
So what he did was he's like, okay, he's going to make himself a hydrogen-powered vehicle for China. Let's take a look. Let's see what it looks like. This is his hydrogen-powered cow.
Because it doesn't matter what shell you put around it.
Yeah, of course.
It's not real. Now, for you guys that don't understand, those 3D assets that they show of how the tractor is actually made have nothing to do with the actual shell that's being driven around.
Yeah, that's
but you can
just
imagine.
nonsense. Yeah.
Now you can almost guarantee this tractor is not 5G. No. This tractor is definitely not hydrogen powered.
Nope.
This tractor is probably a crappy little electric motor with someone's radio controlling it in the background.
Well, yeah, and it's probably something that exists on the market already that they just put like a plastic shell over. Because this looks exactly like the diagram that they made, except with an actual cow. And this is the asset pack, which I'm guessing they probably pirated anyway.
Probably.
But it only costs $7, and you can buy this and then put together your own Chinese hydrogen tractor.
I think that what people have to understand is you have to understand that this was put out for Westerners.
Yes.
This is for English speakers. No, not just Westerners. English speakers. It could be Indians too, right?
Yeah.
Westerners and English speakers to look at China's soft power and say, "Wow, look at this development." We actually saw some pro CCP subreddits.
They were like, "Wow, I can't wait."
I wish we had this in America.
Yeah.
Like, wow, this is incredible. Look at this technology, and it's like, dude, the state government from one of the most powerful countries in the world are using their propaganda arm to potentially steal assets from 3D render
Or just
models
buy it for
packs.
$7.
Yeah, for $7. And then go and lie and fabricate something in some like uncle's backyard
Yes.
in China that doesn't do what it says. For what?
Yeah.
For what?
To prove China's like high tech. Now, it doesn't stop there. I decided, because part of that whole presentation that the CGTN reporter made was she showed this. I'm going to show it in its real speed, so the initial speed that they showed it in. Okay, let's watch this tractor. So look at it. It comes up. Skip past this. It comes up to the sign, thinks about it, and then goes around it, okay, showing that it's autonomous and it can avoid vehicles. Then a guy steps in. This is the speed that they put it out at. It's very sped up.
Yeah.
Okay, so I slowed it down.
Right.
Now,
Look at that thing.
I know it's ridiculous.
Holy crap.
It's ridiculous. I want you to pay attention to the trees, okay? So pay attention to the trees up near that pole up there, okay?
Yeah.
Let me just make sure that we've got it all the way back. Okay, what am I doing here? Sorry. All right, we're gonna have to watch that thing again. Sorry, I'm scrubbing too fast here. So we'll watch it in its full speed. Okay, here it decides. Oh, it's going around. It's going around. By the way, that is just being remotely controlled. You can tell by the way the wheels are turning. It's someone is like like an icy car. Now watch those trees up there next to the pole. Okay, so slow. Ah, did you see
the cut?
Did you see the cut?
Yeah, and then it was optical flow, or not optical flow, cross dissolve.
Yeah, they cross dissolved it. And I'm guessing the reason is it was taking too long. Okay, so it probably had some kind of autonomous like avoidance software or something. And so it gets to this thing, it doesn't know what to do, and it just stuck there. So they probably had to like switch it to manual mode or something. And then they cut it. And then this is more or less, this is still faster than it's supposed to go. So
Yeah.
look how slowly it's going around these things.
Because it's probably going to be it's too heavy for its weak electric motor.
See this guy jumping in there? He's going faster than normal, but this
Yeah.
is the actual speed. This is their fantastic autonomous piece of crap hydrogen. It can't even make straight lines.
Look at that.
Look.
No, what you mean is the guy on the controller.
Yeah, the guy with the controllers.
Stuck on Baiju.
Yeah, and they're standing behind this thing, using like 1912 farm implements behind it, okay, to plow.
Can you imagine how quickly those batteries ran out?
Ah, yeah, I mean, this whole thing is just a farce and a joke.
But for what? Nobody asked to see a autonomous tractor. No one gives a shit.
They were obviously given some kind of directive about like doing smart farming.
Yeah,
and this
for
was
sure.
one of them.
It's like a quota.
And it was done in Luoyang.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing, just like everything else in China, they put together these crappy prototypes. They put together this like fancy looking CG computer generated thing.
Yeah.
And then they get their investment money.
Yeah, that's
The
exactly
investment money
government
goes
grants.
in, and then it gets left and never gets taken past this point.
The thing is, the top officials that would have mandated something like this aren't going to go and see it. They're going to get, this is for them and for us,
Yes.
right? So they're going to say, all right, did you get that done? And they look at it and they go, wow, imagine this guy. So
Yeah.
remember, the CCP killed or got rid of all of the educated people back in old leadership,
Sure,
right?
sure.
So the people that survived through the party aren't necessarily educated. So you get some guy in Luoyang, let's say he's the party secretary in Henan, drinking baijiu, his teeth are falling out from all the cigarettes he smokes, right?
Yeah.
Rolls over, checks his phone. He's like, "Yep, that looks about right to me," and that's all they have to do.
Yeah.
So the absolute half-assed nature of how they put this out is fine for what they needed to get from it, right?
Yes.
Then, as a byproduct, they can get their foreign correspondents, Miss Wow, to go put it out for us to consume and say, and we're supposed to say, "Wow, look at China's development."
Look at this. But look, this is a first here. With the help of our subscribers and our subreddit, we have actually busted and caught China in a lie.
And it seems maybe kind of funny, but it's a great analogy. You can imagine what else they're faking.
Yeah,
And it's almost nearly everything.
everything. Take a look. Again, we put side by side. In the top corner, we have China's official state media's,
They
model.
basically use a video game pack.
Yeah, in the bottom corner, you have our subscriber's model that he created. That's it. It's the same bloody thing. It's exactly the same thing. Okay? It's
What's
just,
that bait?
it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing is what it is.
It's very embarrassing.
So that's why China's dying of embarrassment. Number one, because of the fact that China's, for ancient times, belonged to KFC or belonged to Kentucky.
Yeah, it's
All right.
unfortunate.
Yeah, it's
for them.
unfortunate.
Yeah.
And
the truth doesn't lie. Palettes don't lie either.
yeah, pallets don't lie. And the second thing is that they have been caught out with this stupid fake hydrogen tractor. I
Yeah.
mean, again, this is everything about China.
Yeah.
When you see them doing their military parades, look how fierce we are, and they show their, fancy put together things about the army doing all this stuff and the military doing all this stuff. It's like the tractor.
Yeah.
It just has to look good. That's why they've done things like used footage from Top Gun in the past in their news reports to say,
'Cause it
we shut
passes-
down a plane.
It passes the domestic checks, right?
Yes.
They're like, okay, that was awesome.
Yeah.
They're like, we did that. Meanwhile, they took the millions of dollars they got to make that shot.
Yeah.
Use Top Gun for free.
Yeah.
And then go, you know what? No one's going to figure this out. Everyone figures it out here. And they're like, you know what? It's not going to get back to our leaders. You know?
Yeah.
They're not going to see it. They don't use a VPN.
Remember last time they used footage from like the Hurt Locker and
Yeah.
Transformers and stuff
In their military
in their
stuff.
military propaganda.
Embarrassing.
And of course, for the local people in China who can't watch these overseas movies or maybe won't recognize it because they changed it a little bit,
Yeah.
they all see this and say, wow, look how incredibly good our military is. And it's supposed to work on the foreigners as well.
It is.
We're supposed to be like, oh, so scary. Look
Yeah.
at that. They shot this missile and it blew something up. Meanwhile, that's footage from a Hollywood film.
Right. So what I want you guys to remember, the takeaway from this before we move on, is always remember the tractor. Never forget
Yes.
the tractor, because the tractor is going to be an analogy every time you think something's fishy from China's state media.
Yeah.
GDP figures. Well, if they're making fake video game tractors, then why would they not use the same rhetoric when portraying their GDP figures elsewhere?
Yeah.
The real estate industry, the development quotas, the car industry, right? COVID numbers.
Yeah.
You name it, China always, the Chinese government, the way it's structured, and it's steeped in corruption and quotas that they have to match, that you have to understand that almost everything we end up looking at or trying to dissect ends up false.
Yeah. it
So
does.
I wanted to shout out the subreddit. We have a deep understanding of China. What people in our subreddit can help us with is stuff that they understand, experts
Yes.
in their field.
So,
So
like
it's a great combination.
The 3D
Yeah.
animator who found that, just want to say massive props to you.
Massive props to you. And another thing is, if you guys are experts in your field and you find something that's absolutely been falsified, post it and we would love to cover it.
Yeah, be amazing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to take a swig from my incredibly large.
This has become a meme.
It has.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm trying to do that, drink a whole
It's
thing
good.
a day.
It's
Yeah.
good. It's good. It's good stuff.
And I chose a pink one just because, well, it's outrageous, is what it is.
I like it.
Yeah. Anyway, cool.
I think
Now-
it's great.
Yeah, it is. I think it's pretty great too. Guys, there's something else that's very embarrassing to China that we found out that
Another big one.
it's huge.
Yeah.
Something that we actually covered on Xiaoban Ho, which is our Monday show. It's ridiculous. And well,
Show people where they can go see Xiaoban Ho. It's on our Patreon. Can you run the Patreon?
oh yeah, sure. If you go to patreon.com/ADV podcast, we've got a tier. It is a Patreon exclusive show that happens every Monday. It's a lot of fun. I thought I'd just show you all a very quick clip of what we've been up to. So let's take a look over here.
我在北京
To all the Xiaoban Hos out there. Xiaoban Hos. The real Xiaoban Hos. How many snakes have you slid down?
Explain to us, what kind of snake is this?
I don't know. It's like it's a slippery snake, right?
The Chinese government has always just lost the plot. It's
Very good.
fat scumbag. I'm not British, bro.
Yeah, but I mean,
Americans
like,
love violence.
instead of NBA, it's like BNA and fake stuff. Fake policemen. This is a
Like this
dark
naked-
episode so far.
你有什么特色?
We found this in the pot.
A duck head?
It looked like Afterbirth.
A heart?
It's from a gore horror movie.
A snail?
It was awful.
Rat head? Bird head?
It's a lamb fetus head.
That's dark. That's where I draw the line, guys.
Yeah, I've had way worse. It's disgusting. Because you never know what you're going to get.
I don't want
Especially
to
if
eat a
you-
baby. Communist bout.
Yeah, we call it Chinesium. Decimated the place.
They're eating science experiments here.
The chicken foot family. No birds in China. You get approached by a pretty girl.
So you run out of birds in China.
Sometimes it's an ugly girl. That there are no birds in China. Shit ton of
Oh, yeah,
mosquitoes.
lots.
Yeah, and then the neighbors broke it down and ate them. Come on, give nature a chance.
Nature must never succeed.
Yeah,
And
this
it's
is
like
a
we're-
VIP club.
It's like hanging out with friends that are in a VIP club.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's our Shaban Ho show. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of background on the thing we found out because, we don't like to keep things behind a paywall.
No.
It's just, it is a fun little VIP club. But during our Conquering Northern China documentary, we went to this place that's supposed to be the sanctuary for migratory birds. Okay, these cranes, these beautiful cranes that you see.
red-crested cranes.
Yeah, you see them in Japanese old paintings and Chinese old paintings.
They're in Siberia as well.
Yeah. And they're supposed to fly in there once a year, and they make a big thing out of it. And you go there, and they got a hill. And then they blow some whistles and stuff, and then these cranes come flying over this hill. It's very beautiful. We filmed it.
Yeah.
And then they throw dead fish in this little lake, it's not even a lake, a little stream, and they all fly over and they come eat the fish, and you can take photos, and then they fly off into the distance again. And remember, these things are supposed to be migratory.
Yeah. And they love to come to this one spot in China.
Yeah, because they've somehow made
China.
wild China. We flew a drone, and unfortunately, our producer, because we were worried about getting in trouble with the authorities, he didn't record that part. But there were cages on the other side of that hill where they're actually keeping these cranes imprisoned
Permanently.
Yeah, and they keep them there permanently. And what happens is they would let them out, when they whistle, because they're starving in there. So they let them out, then they fly over to eat, and then they lure them back into the cages because they've trained them by now. Then they lock them in the cages and keep them there. And we couldn't find the footage, but somebody on our subreddit found Google
GPS
Earth
coordinates.
GPS. They found it, and they found pictures of the cages. So it's another big embarrassment.
And it's still 2022.
Yeah, 2022 picture from the satellites. You can see the cages where they keep them.
Cages don't lie.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to learn about that in depth, it'll be on the Patreon.
Yeah,
so
it'll be on Shaban Ho. So we're going to cover that again on Monday. We'll show you all the pictures, all the recaps, all that kind of stuff. So just thought we'd mention that before we move on.
Yeah.
So are we going to do a super chat or two before we move on to the next segment?
Yeah, sure. We'll do a couple of those.
By the way, for those of you who are curious, the background today behind us is Taiwan.
Yes.
You took that in Taipei from
Kathleen Morrison says, sorry, I already read that.
Okay.
Greg says, happy Friday to both of you. Thanks.
Thank you. Happy Friday to you too. It's a great Friday. I hope all of you guys have a fantastic weekend lined up.
Yep. Mike97, thank you very much. Tyler Durden, thanks for showing my meme last week. You made my day. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
I'm glad you made it. Jerry Huang, friend of the channel, says, did you guys hear about China's ambassadors to Australia and France plan to re-educate Taiwanese people about their perspectives on the motherland once China achieves reunification with Taiwan? Yeah, we did. Yeah, we should cover that.
Yeah, we should cover it. It's quite a thing. There's quite a lot of pushback in Australia over the comments made, and it's good. We'll cover that in a future sode.
Sure. M says, keep up the good work, fellas. Love from Australia. Joseph Pudas says, CCP may have lost the war against birds, but they will not lose the war against the fish. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Kao No says, German officials plan to visit Taiwan in October. The old appeasement policies have been called a failure.
Good.
There should be a change about time.
It is about time. Nothing has changed. Again, just like the tractor, the Chinese government has pretended to be something it's not.
Yeah.
In order to take advantage of many different systems around the world. Yeah. And underneath it all, it's just been a big fake CG tractor, really.
Right. Cindy Chapman says, did I read it correctly that China said it will no longer take back Chinese nationals that the U.S. tries to deport as illegal immigrants here?
Yeah.
They said that.
Yeah.
JM9X, thank you very much. Koala1203, I want everyone in the show to give a minute of silence to all the fish who died from the CCP's act of aggression against their populations. Never forget #justice for the fish.
Yes.
Agreed, and we should. Okay.
Yeah.
Prasant Velson, shouldn't the West get more aggressive in pushing its narrative and info from the outside world through Chinese internet, similar to those balloons being sent into North Korea? Are there such efforts? I mean, I don't think you have to try.
No, that's the thing.
Cool.
Soft power works. Hollywood movies work. And if you, honestly, that's what happened with the Soviet Union. That's what happened with East Germany. That's what happened. When you've got something more attractive, you don't need to push it.
No.
You got a good milkshake, it brings all the boys to the yard. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Basically, if you've got something good, people will seek it out.
Yeah.
Okay? And if it's compared to something crap that they have. So it's fine. Anyway, it's time for us to move on.
Yes.
And we're going to move on now to Wu Mao Corner, which, as you know, is all about the hate and the haters and the nonsense that goes on from the Chinese internet haters and so on. And this time it's actually got something to do with Snickers.
Yeah.
Maybe you can explain.
So we have a boycott, guys. We're asking everyone to boycott. It doesn't cost you anything. In fact, it'll save you money.
It'll save you money.
We need to join together as the China Show community.
Okay.
And we need to boycott these brands. And I'll tell you why. I think boycotts and all this kind of stuff, everyone boycott this for whatever reason. It needs to be a good reason, right?
Yeah, it needs to be a
that
good
everyone
reason.
can rally behind, and I think we have one.
Yeah.
So what happened is that Snickers maker, that's Mars Wrigley, which is that partnership company, old school company, American company, says it respects China's national sovereignty and conducts its business operations in strict compliance with local laws and regulations. And what they did was apologize to China for referring to Taiwan as a country. And we do not allow this capitulation to happen anymore, guys. Look at Hollywood. Hollywood's made a big shift and stopped capitulating to China.
Yeah.
We need to get brands to follow suit. These, whatever, 80-year-olds at the helm of this company need to stop their capitulating to China. They need to stop kowtowing. We are not going to let a genocidal dictatorship dictate what we can say or do. It's an American company. I highly implore you guys to boycott these brands. And I'll read them off for audio listeners.
I'll tell you one brand that's very easy to boycott is Dove. You know, Dove chocolate in China is horrendous.
Yeah, it's bad.
I haven't actually tried it outside of China. Is it okay?
It's okay.
In China, it tastes like
bad.
soap.
Dude, you
Like
know what
cooking
else tastes
chocolate.
bad is Coke tastes bad in China
It does.
too. Remember that?
Yeah.
It's so inconsistent.
Snickers.
Snickers taste different in China too.
They do, but to be fair, when you're in China, Snickers is about the most Western
It's like a
tasting
delicacy.
chocolate that you can find.
It's like a delicacy.
It is.
You go to a gas station or something, and I mean, I'll be honest with you, it's pretty rare that a gas station will have Snickers. I did see it more up north, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
You saw that, right?
Yeah.
You load up on those bad
Yeah,
boys.
you do. Snickers became more and more popular.
did.
We used to eat a lot of it.
You know what's funny is, you know, it's marketed in China. I think a lot of people will understand this. You think it's just a chocolate bar, right? In
Yeah.
China, it's marketed as an energy bar.
Oh, it's the
like
same in South Africa.
Oh, it is?
Except we've got, we call it something else.
Oh, okay.
It's a Mars bar, but it's called something else. They rebranded it. Bar One. It's called Bar One.
Oh, okay.
And it's always like firemen coming to, like, they
That's
put out
so
a fire
weird.
and then they're like, oh, I'm so exhausted. And the other fireman will hand him like basically a Mars bar and he'll be like, Bar One, get that energy.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so weird because here it's like a treat. It's obviously, it's like, you're hungry, grab a Snickers, right?
Sure.
But it's not like I'm going to go run a marathon. But in China, it's considered like almost a supplement.
Yeah.
It's like something you eat when you need your energy to do
Well,
something.
let's see. What are the different things?
So I'm going to
here?
read through these. We got Three Musketeers.
Oh, man.
I know. This
That's
sucks.
like, you know-
Halloween's going to be rough.
Sloth's going to be very upset.
Yeah. Is he still around?
But probably.
We have 5 gum.
Hey, you guys. Anyway,
How it feels after chewing 5 gum. You ever seen those ads?
no, never had
They're
that before.
crazy. Altoids, which you're a fan of.
No, it's American weird thing.
I watched you eat Altoids.
Yeah, I bought the tin thing because I wanted to make a raspberry pie in an Altoid tin thing.
Oh, gotcha.
You know what really kept its cool for a long time is the first road trip I came here. Remember, I bought those like weird mints, like in a 1950s
yeah, it's like
thing.
some pinup girl. On
Yeah,
it.
pinup girl like from 1950s. I bought them, so it was like in 2016. And then I
them.
gave you some last week or whatever.
Yeah.
And you were like,
They're
"Yeah, this
still
is
fine.
fine. Yeah, it's totally fine."
I don't
That's it.
believe in expiration dates, to be honest. I think it's like over. If it smells and looks fine, your body is equipped to tell you if something's bad.
Yeah, okay, but just don't eat like old pork from 20 years ago or something.
Yeah, but your body will tell you that's probably bad when you try to put green pork in your mouth.
True.
You know what I mean? Green eggs in ham.
Okay, anyway.
So instead of, you know what we're doing right now is we're
Yeah.
shouting out brands and we're reminiscing about
Yeah,
how
we
good
shouldn't.
they are.
Yeah,
No, I'm
we-
gonna read
yeah,
them, but I'm
okay.
gonna rapid fire them. We're not
Okay.
gonna. These are all bad things. We hate these.
No, these are good brands, but they've got a terrible management. And
Yes.
the management of these brands has capitulated to China. Now, listen, guys. We saw what happened with Hollywood when Hollywood capitulated to China.
Yeah.
Okay? We started to see movies kind of take a shit, for lack of a better word. They would insert Chinese actors into movies that just it didn't make sense.
Right.
Okay? Because it just didn't make sense. It'd be like set in a specific place in a specific time where there would not have been a Chinese person there.
No.
They inserted that. They inserted Chinese brands into like all these movies like Transformers. Why is a guy drinking Mengniu on the roof of a building, for instance? You know, that type of thing. They insert Chinese brands. But that's not a problem. I got nothing wrong with, throwing in a Chinese actor.
No,
it could be
that's
fantasy.
great.
And nothing wrong with throwing in a brand here or there. What I have a problem with is censorship.
Yes.
And so Hollywood movies were avoiding certain topics, were changing storylines, censoring themselves in order to pass the Chinese Censorship Bureau. So in making a very popular movie that is supposed to be for their original audience, before China came on the scene.
Yeah.
So if it's a sequel to a Marvel movie or something, right? They would change that in order to appease, the Chinese censorship
That's right.
gods, and it would affect our local entertainment.
Yes.
And make it worse and water it down and make it less edgy and make it more rubbish.
Yeah.
And I'm worried about the fact that every brand that capitulates to China will end up doing the same thing.
I agree.
So, if they like Snickers, they like Snickers, okay?
Yeah.
Why not? Everybody likes Snickers. But this parent company should not be saying, oh, we're so sorry we called Taiwan a country. Oh, we're so sorry. Please take our humble apologies. Oh,
Yeah.
and by the way, now we're going to just change the way our Snickers taste because we heard Xi Jinping doesn't like peanuts, so we're going to take him out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
As dumb as that sounds, it is a slippery slope. American Heritage Chocolate. These are brands that you need to stop using until they
Just
correct their
send a
behavior.
message.
And
You
the
lose
chili.
weight too.
Yeah, you'll lose weight and you also hurt them, which is great. We want to hurt brands. I mean, brands, like, let's be honest, if their leadership is capitulating in China, then we shouldn't be supporting them morally.
Yeah.
Amicelli, Ballisto, Wrigley's Big Red, that's that cinnamon gum. Bounty, I guess that's paper towels. You guys better start cleaning stuff up with reusable cloths. Wash them when you're done.
No, man, just get shop rag or a shop towel.
Yeah, or Mr. Clean or whatever the hell is. So there's other crap.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, sure.
Celebrations. I don't even know what that is. Combos. Those are those horrible pretzels stuffed with that fake cheese. Now, don't get me wrong.
sounds
I
good.
love pretzels.
That sounds good.
But combos are pretty
are?
rough.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, they're full of dry, powdery, gross cheese.
Okay, I got to
Pure
try
salt.
that. I love that.
You would like them.
Yeah.
Wrigley's Double Mint Gum, Dove, Eclipse, Ethel M Chocolates, Galaxy, Goodness Knows, Hubba Bubba, Juicy Fruit, Lifesavers, M&M's, Maltesers, Mars, Milky Way, My M&M's, whatever that is, Orbit, Skittles, Snickers, Starburst, Twix, Winterfresh, Extra, and Wrigley's Spearmint.
Okay, so there's a lot of stuff here which is good stuff, and
Yeah.
it sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe just make an alternative choice.
Oh, I'm sorry. Bounty is a chocolate bar.
It's Bounty's.
Yeah.
Oh, Bounty's not
paper
like
towels were
the
good.
quicker picker upper.
No, we're good.
Okay,
We're
so
good.
you can use the.
You sorry about that, Bounty.
Yeah, it's like you can. Yeah, you can do that. Anyway, yeah, that's it's unfortunate to see companies kowtowing. What is this?
Oh, so this is great. Remember
Okay.
the Copium War?
Yes.
This is one of China's state employees.
Yeah.
So he was saying that there was no way Nancy Pelosi would land in Taiwan.
Yes.
And she's about to land, but she's about to steer off course. Don't worry.
Right.
So now the Copium has been invoked.
Okay.
Right. So, by the way, he's begging people,
Mm-hmm.
right, to bypass Twitter's censorship and share out his video, which didn't censor him, by the way.
No.
So he's, instead of saying the government I work for that blocks Twitter, help me bypass that, he says, no, help me bypass Twitter's
Isn't that-
censorship and share out this state media.
Just hypocrisy. Absolute.
So what he said was that, okay, she landed, and then he was like, I was wrong, right?
Yeah.
So when she left, he said, look at her path. Look at her path. When she left Taiwan, you can clearly see that she was really worried about the PLA, and they were going to shoot her down. And,
Okay.
they were going to go after her, so that she went this different weird route. And you can see that they were very scared of the Chinese military.
Right.
That's the new copium.
Oh, that's a new
Yeah.
copium.
Is that when she left, she went a weird route.
Oh, I see. I think she just went whichever route she
went
wanted.
to South Korea.
Because she
wherever
knew that there would be nothing about
Yeah.
that.
So it's just dead fish.
Yeah. Okay, what's this all about?
Oh, I mean, guys. So, apparently, there's a group called Center for Political Innovation.
Whoopsie. Sorry, I just messed that up. Don't worry, carry on. It's still there.
This is their grand opening.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is in the U.S.
You don't want that.
And I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to take these people seriously, but I think it's kind of insane
Yeah.
that we've gone full loop where, like we're anti-war, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you get these groups that are supposed to be anti-war.
Yeah.
They're like, let's say they're socialist communists, right?
Right.
Youth Americans, right?
Yeah. Che Guevara
And
t-shirt.
they're against imperialism. and they're hanging up a Chinese flag,
Yes.
a Z flag for the Russian military, and a Russian flag. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You've
confused.
become what you hate.
They're just confused. I think there's a lot of confusion.
This is in America.
Look,
What are you doing?
I have to be honest with you, and I think when you grow up in a place like America, it's actually just too easy.
Yeah.
You don't actually understand what it's like any other system, how much worse other systems are.
Right.
So you find all the flaws in your system because there are plenty of flaws.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of reasons to be upset about how America is run by the government and stuff,
Sure.
right? There are reasons.
Right.
So if you haven't experienced a worse system, you're going to think that this is the worst system because you see all these little problems here and there. But, you know, if you were to go and live and grow up in another country that has a worse system, you change your mind real quick,
Yeah.
you know? But unfortunately, they don't get that opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, shilling for the Russian military, though, is like, it doesn't actually add up with what their goals are.
We're definitely back.
Are we?
Yes, we're back. We're back, right?
No, we're not.
Yes, we are. We're definitely back. I know we're back, so bear with us while we look at this.
You say we're back, but we're not back.
We're back. I know we're back. I just know it. I feel it in my massive cup of water that we're back. We're definitely back. Get back in there. You'll see. We're back. Yep.
Back.
Yep, we are back.
Back.
Sorry about that, guys. For some reason we had a massive internet crash over here. Probably hacked by the PLA.
Oh, no, maybe it was the CPI.
Yeah, anyway, apologies for that. So, guys, let's continue on, okay? We were talking about these ridiculous communist
I
organizations.
like how we lost half the viewers. Thanks for the people that decided to not lose your attention span and stick around.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Let's
Calm
bring
down,
this back.
everybody.
Let's resurrect this stream. So, moving on, this is quite big news. The previous CEO of Twitter, I believe,
Yeah, Jack Dorsey.
Jack Dorsey, hate him or like him, he put out a tweet that said end the CCP, which is great.
The only reason, I'm not the kind of person that covers like what big rich people say. I don't particularly care.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a hipster about it. I just want to cover why this is important. And I think it's more important to point out the absolute insanity of this. I'm going to put out a hypothetical situation.
Sure.
Can you imagine Elon Musk tweeting this out?
That'd be great.
Can you imagine it?
He wouldn't do it, though.
No.
because he'd lose all his business interests in China.
So that's
Yeah.
perspective I want people to have. It's not that I'm a billionaire fan.
Sure.
Right? It's that when someone of this magnitude says something like that, it indicates a public shift in the upper end of things.
Yes.
And that is a good thing.
Yeah.
So I endorse this tweet.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's hard to put a handle on Jack, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean,
But it's
whatever,
good.
this is a good thing.
And I believe this was in response to the zero COVID policy
Yeah.
stuff being reaffirmed.
Yes,
So-
something like that, yeah.
That's fantastic. What else do we have? Is this still Wu Mao Corner, or are we on to world news now?
Oh, this is Wu Mao Corner.
Still Wu Mao Corner.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
This is world news.
Okay, so we're going to move on directly to Worldview, where we talk about everything in the world, specifically with regards to China. So it's kind of like what's new, but with more of an international, tinge to it, you could say.
That's right.
So what have we got going on here?
Yeah. Yep, just play for
鱼跟海滩都是死鱼。
We weren't kidding about the fish
Stop
kill.
there.
天哪！
Okay.
Don't go back to the beginning of it, please.
Why?
No, just don't.
Okay.
No.
All right.
It was someone else's screen recording.
Oh,
You
I see.
understand? It was sent, and that, you
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
Just leave it there. You see all those fish there?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can't 100% confirm this is from the app Operation Fish Kill.
I believe it
thought
must be.
It kind of looks like it could be.
They're speaking Chinese.
No, I know, but it could. I'll be honest with you. I've been on beaches in China where it does look like this. There's
Sure,
like dead
sure.
sea life everywhere.
Yeah.
It can be chemical spills. It can be algae blooms. It can be all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, sure.
But if this is Operation Fish Kill, then you really screwed up China.
Yeah.
Because all the fish are dead. All of them are dead. Anyway, let's move on.
Okay, so now it's time for us to move on to the next part.
Yes.
一
Hang
个
on.
海滩都是死
Just playing this in the background. We'll get
She
past
said
it.
on this beach, it's all dead fish.
天
Yeah.
哪！
And
Tiana means oh my god, basically.
Yes.
Yeah. Water Tiana, Mayo Diana. I always say that when I run out of.
没有网络.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, for sure. So, guys, do you remember the Onga worm?
I do. It was in Taiwan, the fake protesters that were protesting Pelosi's visit.
They had signs up, and it was supposed to be warmonger, but they
Yeah.
didn't know how to write it properly, so it was
Yeah.
Onga worm OC
Yeah.
Pel. So we put out a bit of a competition, okay? And this is something that you guys are going to have to help us decide here. We made a competition to see who could come up with the best Onga worm design, because we actually want to make some merchandise.
Yes.
And, well, here
Hold
are a
on.
couple.
Hold on.
Okay.
So the winner gets $200, which
Yeah.
are the proceeds from sales.
Yeah.
And we're gonna show you. So we got about 100 submissions.
Yes.
Right. We'll actually rip through some of those. But what me and Winston did was we sat down and we distilled. We had a hard time because some of these are great.
Yeah.
But we at least had to get it to a top 10.
Yeah.
So we're gonna show you the top 10
top
Onga
10.
designs.
Yes.
And I put a poll up in the chat. It's
Yeah.
the pinned chat right now.
Yeah.
And also it's the one I'm sending in there now. Okay.
Okay.
And I want you guys to, after we look at all of them, decide which number you like the best. We'll go through it, explain it, and then we'll go through each one again.
Okay, so we're going to start out with number one.
So vote, please.
Please vote in the poll. We got this fantastic, looks like an earthworm, chopped up dragon thing, the Onga worm.
a great one.
I actually like this one.
Yeah.
One of my favorites. Number two, just a very simple design.
It's the 2 ruble maker,
Yes,
which is great.
Onga worm to ruble maker. Because remember, there were a number of spelling mistakes, and the other one was instead of troublemaker, they made it to ruble maker.
Yeah.
So, hey, we can't let them live down this silly thing that they did. If they're going to make such blatant mistakes, it's got to be, cast in stone
Yeah.
forever.
Get us out of there, by the
I
way.
will. I will.
Yeah.
So it's number two. Number three.
Number 3 is, this is actually, I don't want to put bias in. This is actually ended up being my favorite. But probably for a patch.
Yeah, this is
But
a
it could
great
be
patch.
it could be a small T-shirt thing.
I mean, maybe.
I like it. It says beware of the angry worm
Yes.
in Chinese.
What I like about this is, when they have those missions to the moon, or like the Apollo missions and stuff, each mission had its own specific
Yes.
patch. And this kind of reminds me of those
I like
patches.
it. It's really
This is
cool.
the kind of thing that I would put on my motorcycle jacket. 'Cause
Yeah, I would wear
I
this.
actually have some patches on my motorcycle jacket. They're very geeky, by the way. Maybe I'll share them with you at some point. It's
Yeah.
probably not what you expect. But this would definitely go along with that.
当心愤怒的蠕虫, that means like,
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
It's like anger worm instead
Yes.
of anger worm, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah.
2
it's-
different versions of that. That's number 3. So mark that down if you like that. Beware the anger worm. This is kind of like an 80s movie poster.
A bit of a Pokemon vibe as well, if I'm honest.
Yeah, for sure. But
Yeah.
I was talking about the font and the way it's kind of laid
Yeah.
out. Also cool.
Yeah.
It says, "Don't make trouble for us. We need peace." I think
It
if
needs to
that
be
way the
changed to
production-
ruble.
It has to be to ruble. I think that's a rule.
Yeah.
Because it should be what was on the sign.
Yeah, number 4. We got number 5 coming up, which is a really nice kind of ancient wood chop design,
Yeah.
whatever they call that, wood print. That's kind of cool. It's
I
got,
like that one.
got dead fish. The actual Onga worm text needs to be made more into a stamp looking thing,
Yeah.
I think. But otherwise,
match the
yeah.
aesthetic, yeah.
Otherwise, it's actually really nice. That's number 5. Number 6, coming up, we have this very cool, kind of like a metal band, I guess.
Yeah.
Onga worm. Trans-Pacific Tour 2022.
I like that one.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
hilarious.
It's kind of got like a Chinese dragon, whiskers and eyes looking at
Yeah.
you. That's pretty cool. That's number what? You put a hash on that. There's no number there. What is that supposed to be?
Sorry, what the heck happened there? So that's number 5. Right?
Is that no? It is. Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
number 5.
no, it's number
No,
6.
It's number 6.
Sorry,
I'm
no, number 6 is this one. For those of you
Yeah, 6.
who are confused.
I'm sorry. I'm going to say this is 6. This is 6. This is 6.
Yeah,
Everyone knows.
number 6 is that one. Number 7 is this kind of, you've got Onga worm Pelosi on the Taipei 101.
Kind of fun.
Yeah, with Winnie the Pooh in her mouth.
Yeah.
Well,
It's kind of cool.
yeah, it's kind of a cool.
Yeah, I like that. That's kind of neat. The more I look at that, the cooler that is.
Yeah, that's cool. And then we've got a number 8, which is Onga worm OC Pel with a dragon.
flag.
Yeah, that's a nice clean design. Number 9, don't Onga worm me.
And
What?
it's
Instead of
Taiwan.
don't tread on me. Yeah.
It's like a Taiwan angerworm dragon.
Right. Yeah, and it's got Taiwan as the scale pattern as well. See on the snake.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good touch.
Yeah. And then we've got number 10, danger, rocket fishing inbound. Obviously, this will have to have Ongerwarm thrown in there somewhere.
I mean, I put it on number 10. It wasn't going to make the cut. I like it, but I like it separate from Ongerwarm because this is like Operation Fish Kill.
It's
But it was
Operation
so well done.
Sure,
I wanted to throw it in there.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So let's rip through those again. You don't
Okay.
have to explain them. Just play it through.
I'll play it through quickly.
I'm pasting the poll right now, guys. The
Please
poll's in the
choose,
chat.
because look, based on the results of the poll, is going to be what merchandise is made and who wins the prize. So please think about it and let us know. Okay, we'll give it a couple days and or should we? No, we'll give it.
This
it'll
is
be
live now.
Okay, it'll be live now. It'll be live.
It's a treat for the guys and girls that are watching us live.
Okay, all right. So we decide the winner now live.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember, this is
So
number
this
6.
Ongerwarm, the metal poster one is number 6. Number 6.
Number 7
We'll play through this twice, just so everyone gets a chance.
and 8
Because we have a bunch of people that just came in.
and 9 and 10.
Okay, one more time for everybody.
Yeah. Hey, remember
Vote
there's
now. Don't type in the chat, guys. Click the link in the chat.
there's a link to an actual poll, guys. There's a link. And remember, we're gonna have to let it right at the end of the show.
Yeah.
We'll choose the winner, okay? Because some people are probably catching up because of that
Yeah.
stupid problem we had. Okay, one more time, guys. We're gonna play them out. Here's one. That's the worm one.
Click the link to vote, guys.
Yeah, please click the link.
Don't type the number in
Yeah,
here.
it's not gonna work. 3 is the patch thing. We got 4 is the Pokemon poster looking thing. 5 is the traditional print looking thing. 6 is that metal band poster type thing. And we got 7 is the what kind of art style is that anyway?
I don't know, like video game.
Yeah, 8 is the sort of clean dragon one. 9 is the don't Ongerwarm me, and 10 is the fish inbound rocket fish thing.
That's
okay,
right.
so these are some of the other runner-ups. We just thought we'd show you because everybody
Just
going to play it in the background. We just want to say thank you to everybody who did actually give us something, because it's pretty fantastic that you guys would do something like this. And we appreciate the effort of every single person.
That's right.
So thank you for all of you who submitted something.
That's right.
We appreciate, like, our subreddit is one of the coolest things.
It is. I love it. I check it every day.
Yeah.
So shout out to all the people.
What is this one by?
I mean, that is Microsoft Paint. Is what
It
you're
is. It's
looking
MS
at.
Paint. It's like
Yeah.
that's a real aesthetic.
It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah. These are some of that one was AI, I think, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Now we need proper, like, you made it type stuff.
I mean, the AI stuff is cool to see.
yeah, it's great to see. Yeah, but
Yeah.
we need you made it type stuff. Yeah.
So yeah, at the end of Yumcha.
Yeah.
Well, during Yumcha, we'll run that again. By the way.
Yeah, just in the background, and then we'll call the final
And then
winner.
we'll call it at the end of Yumcha.
Yeah.
Right now, 3 is in the lead. By the way,
Oh, okay.
but
Interesting.
by a very narrow margin.
Very narrow. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Remember, it's all up to you. This is what democracy is all about, guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Putting the vote out to you guys. What is that?
I don't say what it is, and it won't matter.
Okay. All right. Okay. Just leave that as it is.
Just leave that as. I mean, it's up to you, right?
Yeah,
It's up to your
yeah, yeah.
interpretation.
That's correct.
That's a cool one.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I mean, all of these submissions were great. Thank you very much, everybody. What, this guy's called, what's his name badge? Like,
Larry B. Unger.
and it's had Unger warm and Unger cold.
Yeah.
Okay. Where be Unger warm?
Pink
Yeah.
Little. I liked how that was backwards, like little pink.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It is. So yeah, again, thank you to everyone for your submissions. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So are we going to move on to our final segment of the show now?
House shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, house shirt and our house shirt. Yes.
Yeah. I just
Okay.
wanted to give everyone a voice real quick.
Yeah.
Let these play out, maybe, because everyone put a lot of work into them.
Yeah. I mean, I thought we were kind of near the end.
Oh, it's almost done.
Okay, excellent. Yeah. So we want to solidify this mistake that was made forever in merch, because it's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
That was in the top 10. What
That's
are
just
we
all of-
doing?
it's just
Oh,
all
it's
of
all
them,
of them.
yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay. While these things play in the background, Got anything interesting to say?
I'm interested to see who wins, to be honest.
I know, but for those who are not watching it for the competition.
But I feel like a lot of people care.
That's cool. This is a last-minute submission.
Yeah.
That is not an Ongerwarm thing. What are you doing?
Okay, stop. This is obviously something wrong.
No, that's an Ongerwarm. Yeah.
I'm worried about what I put in here now.
Yeah, what did you put in this thing?
You don't want to know.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, something interesting. Come on. We can't just... If people are watching this a week from now, they don't want to just see submissions.
I think they do. They're going to be like, you know what? I like to see reruns of something that I have no input on.
No, it's
It's done. This is it.
okay. That's
That's
it. Okay. If for some reason we didn't manage to put your submission in here, we apologize.
Yeah.
Thank you again to everybody who did do it, though. I mean, it's fantastic to see the support, and the winner, which we will announce at the end of this, will receive $200, and we'll make merch out of it, and so you'll be forever known as the Ongerwarm maker. There are more, by the way. I don't know what you're talking about. What about this one?
Forever. Sorry.
And then we've got like the dragoning one. You know, don't look up dragoning, by the way.
Why did you have to throw the ing on that?
I feel like whoever drew that one knows what dragoning is. Yeah, I just have a feeling. Okay.
Hovek Arnian says, "Damn, I thought you guys got plaffed."
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that's it.
Right. Okay, now we're going to hit Q&A, the Yamcha section of our show, which is kind of my favorite part. This is where we get to relax. I get to loosen the tie. We talk to you guys, answer your super chats, have a bit of a session, chatting session. And this is going to be available on the weekend, of course, and now live. And we're going to announce the winner near the end. It won't be right at the end, but it'll be near the end.
Yeah, sorry. Everyone's looking up dragoning.
Oh, okay.
Why'd you do that? My mom probably is looking that up.
You're going to have to explain to her what that's
I think
all
she'll
about.
figure it out from the pictures.
Yeah. Anyway, like I was saying, you get to watch this now. You get to watch it on the weekend. Monday, we cut it out of the show. But let's get started. What do we got?
Will Smith slapping Xi Jinping. Thinking about buying a bike. Is the Royal Enfield Bullet a good entry purchase? Have you seen Keanu Reeves' company's customs? I have seen that. He does good stuff. And I think it's a great first
It's
bike.
actually a very cool bike.
It's a good learner bike.
Yeah.
It's very slow.
We were going to buy them when we were going to do a trip across India.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, COVID came along and quashed that whole adventure.